All right, we all know that the US government is playing crypto all wrong. They are still listening to people like Elizabeth Warren to try to shut it down. But here's a bit of advice, a couple of things that you should do with crypto. You need to embrace crypto. You definitely need to embrace crypto. You need to stop pushing it away. That's right. You know, if you push it away, it's going to go away to other countries. And there's a lot of tasty jobs in crypto, high paying ones. And it's going to run part of the global economy. You see Europe already adopting it. Japan's already adopting it. China is even dipping its toes in with Hong Kong. And it might not be too long before they dip it in as well. The rest of China. And of course, the Middle East is adopting it, the UAE is adopting it, and South American countries are adopting it. Pretty much everyone besides North America at this point. I know that you want dollar dominance, but I do not think crypto actually threatens the dollar. Crypto is an investment market. Almost every country sees it that way. And El Salvador is buying Bitcoin to use as a reserve to make money in the future, or to insure themselves. The thing is, the more you fight it, the worse it's going to be. Because you know what? Americans want crypto. I'm an American. I want crypto. And there's millions upon millions of Americans that want crypto, and that political pressure is going to build. I know that, politicians in the United States are obsessed with controlling the world's finances. But the thing is, like, most things that you control are going to be centralized. You can go after a certain target, whereas a lot of crypto, you can't go after a certain target. And there's no way you can get the rest of the world to agree with you to stop crypto. Even if they, on the surface, say they're going to agree with you on your crypto policy, underneath, they're going to be secretly using it because they want to skirt around you, or it's useful to them. And trust me, crypto is useful to a lot of governments in different ways, whether they're enemies or allies. So we need to bring the crypto to the United States. Don't be that guy that made the mistake like Xi Jinping did with Bitcoin mining in China. He had a chance to control Bitcoin in China with over 50% of the hash rate in his country. But you know what? He screwed it up, and now he can't control it anymore because only about 20% of the hash rate's in his country by trying to ban crypto mining. Don't be like that. He had a chance to have a chokehold in the world economy in the future, and he screwed it up. And you know what? You guys are screwing this up too with Elizabeth Warren, Gary Gensler, and a lot of other players. The IRS is also screwing this up by having really harsh tax regulations on crypto and having really hard rules to follow. Like, for instance, staking and yield farming. You need to report every single transaction, every single reward you get. That is literally impossible because you get rewards every 5 minutes. Now, how I'm dealing with that is I'm just not claiming my rewards, because if I don't claim my rewards, they're not in my wallet. They're technically not mine, and I will pay my tax when I claim them. And when they're actually in my wallet and when I sell them, I will claim them right before I sell them. So I basically am going to pay on sale, and that's the way it should be. The thing is, if you make rules too difficult for people to pay taxes, people are just not going to pay them. And it does not benefit you, because a lot of those people are going to be small fry people that you don't really want to go after, because it's going to take you more money to go after them than you would get. But if you made the tax rules easier, they would report and they would pay. The easier you make it to comply with their rules, and the better they are, the more people are going to feel that it's more fair, and the more they're going to be willing to pay. Because see, I think most people would be law-abiding citizens, but if you have all these complex rules that make it near impossible to track, and if they're too punitive, people are just going to be saying, you know what, screw it, I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm using DEXs anyways. You can't track me, and you're losing out on a lot of tax revenue. You guys are going the wrong way about all of this, including with the IRS and the SEC. Because, us in the crypto market, us regular people in the crypto market, we don't feel like you're protecting us. We just feel like that you're trying to extend your hand in places that you shouldn't actually be extending. We don't feel that any of your arguments are actually right about the crypto market. We don't feel like any of these things are securities. And you're definitely not protecting our investments. You're actively tanking our investments. And realistically, if you took a poll of the crypto industry and its participants of regular investors, they probably just want you to GTFO anyways. So that's probably what you should do for the most part. And it's not like with our tax dollars, you're doing a very good job of prosecuting anyways. You completely missed FTX. In fact, your chairman was whining and dining Sam Bankman-Fried months before the FTX thing fell apart, and he was trying to actually help them get around regulations while trying to pursue CZ and Coinbase and such, people that didn't actually lose money of their customers. So you are persecuting the wrong people in the wrong way. Yes, you might have scored a victory against CZ, but CZ is always going to be seen in a positive light in the crypto market. And he's going to be somewhat of a hero or a martyr at this point to most crypto people, whether he deserves it or not. Because you know what? He didn't lose our money. It's really the government's beef against CZ. Probably, in my opinion, because you guys are afraid of him more than anything else. And it's that reputation that you're building for yourself in crypto. You're losing people's trust. If you lose people's trust, they're going to be less likely to follow your rules. They're going to be less likely to pay taxes. And they're going to vote in representatives that really kind of screws with your whole agenda. Because remember, we as citizens, we still have the power to vote you out. And I think crypto in some jurisdictions is going to become a bigger and bigger issue that you won't be able to ignore. Now, people like Elizabeth Warren, Brad Sherman, they're in fairly safe districts, so they're safe. But people in swing districts, they're eventually going to have to come around to crypto, because if they don't, I think they'll lose enough votes eventually to be voted out. And you might see some of that in 2024, although 2024 is hyper polarized. And most people in crypto is a fairly Republican stronghold, so the Democrats probably aren't going to lose too many votes there. But as it becomes bigger and bigger, I think it's going to swing more and more people. Most of the people that have crypto technically only have $200 in crypto, so they might not might not care too much politically. But as that grows bigger, as it will in the future, crypto's market cap's growing every cycle. There's nothing you can actually do to change that, because even if it doesn't grow in the US, it's going to grow overseas, and people are going to start using VPNs to get around certain things. There's coins that people want that they're just going to use swaps to get, and as they become more and more invested, it's going to be harder and harder for you to make policies against it. So people like Elizabeth Warren and Brad Sherman, they're going to be going up against a rising tide that is pretty much pro-crypto, and they're going to lose in the end. So for politicians, I think it's going to play well for you to actually be pro-crypto. It will gain you votes instead of lose them. For the IRS, I think it behooves you to actually make fair crypto regulations instead of trying to tax the hell out of it. Make tax regulations easier, because that will actually net you more money in the long run, because people are going to be more willing to follow those regulations. If you make them too harsh, people aren't going to follow them, and you won't have the manpower to track everything else down. It's going to cost you money in the end. As for the SEC, you can stop soiling your own reputation and basically making people want to get rid of you, because I bet if you took a vote of crypto investors right now, they would actually vote to abolish the SEC, regardless of protections or not. And remember, let me remind you, there is enough resistance against Gary Gensler from both sides of the aisle. One of the Democratic congressmen from his own party said Gary Gensler's not really a regulator. He is actually a politician posing as a regulator, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. And I completely agree with him on that. The Republicans are basically looking at bills to basically replace Gary Gensler or kick him out. And I think eventually the Democrats are going to sign on to that too, because there's going to be a lot of donation money coming in from the crypto lobbyists. Oh, not as much as from the traditional financial lobbyists, but from the crypto lobbyists. And sooner or later, probably pretty soon, BlackRock, Fidelity, and these companies are going to turn against Gary Gensler as well, because he's cock-blocking their ETF, trying not to let them have an in-kind ETF and have them base it on futures instead, which they don't want. And those companies have a lot of lobbying and pull power in Washington, D.C. They're just as powerful as the traditional banks like JP Morgan, like Goldman Sachs, which might actually be trying to vote against crypto, but you're going to have at least the same amount of money sooner or later, if not greater money, to actually go the pro-crypto route as well, because there's a lot of billion-dollar companies, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, Franklin Templeton, and others that want an ETF through, and they're seeing that the SEC is just hampering their ways. No, I don't believe in the whole BlackRock cabal stuff, but BlackRock is in crypto's corner now. I don't know if they want to use crypto to control the economy even more or to manipulate even more, but realistically, they're going to become more and more pro-crypto. Their CEO actually said it was a flight to quality, and you can see the future being written on the wall. Like, it's not one or two banks that control like the political landscape in the financial sector. These big funds matter as well. So if the banks are going against the funds, they're not going to be just fighting the funds. They're going to be fighting everyone else in the industry as well. And I do believe tech is also going to be on the blockchain bandwagon, especially with AI and other things. So, you're losing jobs. You're losing global political dominance, you're losing global financial dominance, and you're losing tax revenue with your current policies right now. So you need to change your views on crypto, make more lenient regulations, make more lenient policies, stop calling it a security, either call it like a currency or commodity, I don't really care. Stop trying to regulate the hell out of it and stop trying to tax the hell out of it. Make fair policies that actually people will abide by, and you will actually get all four of those things back. It's not too late for the United States because the US has a lot of investment money and that's going to attract a lot of companies. But if you keep on going at it this way, you're going to lose the entire farm. So don't be stupid and basically start backtracking and reverse your ways, government. All right, that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.